Good morning guys, and welcome to another video of our new project. Ford Fiesta 1.25 4-door. Nice little car. We bought it off a girl who couldn't drive anymore. I don't know what the reasons are, but she was stopped from driving. A little bit of a scuff in here. Get into a bit closer. So along this bumper, this rear quarter, and into the door, it doesn't actually look, or it's not actually as bad as it looks on camera. But it's had everything done to this car. Cam belt, water pump, loads done to it. It's only done, I think it was 50 or 60,000. Let's have a little look. I'm sure it's around that. Just going to plug you in. Sorry, it's a bit juddery, but trying to film. Yeah, there's the back of it. No real damage. Down the side. We'll try and get it out on a open and show you a bit of a better video, but yeah, 63,190 miles. So that's not bad for, what is this now, 12 years old? It's good. 5,000 miles a year. Yeah, she did say that this inner door panel here had popped off its poppers, which makes this rear door hard to open. So we're going to have a look at that. Boot. Oh, hello, we got some free oil. 530. 1040. That's not too bad, is it? It's not dirty, is it? Yeah, happy days. Yeah. Nice little car. So we'll go right through it in a minute. See exactly what it does need, what it doesn't need. Like I say, apart from this, I don't know how she's done this. It's obviously a bollard, but it's not actually that bad. So we might be fairly lucky there. This wing mirror cap needs a clipping back in. Aftermarket wheels. I think they're quite nice, but I might look for a set of originals. Tyres are all good. Yeah, I quite like this little thing. Bit of a marking on here, look. But again, we'll go right through it, and whatever it needs doing, we'll get done. Good cut, polish, clay bar, and hopefully it comes up quite nice. It's only had 2 owners. Yeah, it's really simple, little funky thing compared to that Mark 1 Fiesta I had 30 years ago. This is like driving a Rolls Royce compared to that. Although that Mark 1 would be worth about 5 times as much as this now, but there we go, that's the car world for you. But yeah, I'll try and get a bit better angles for you. We'll go right the way around it, but it runs sweet as a nut, no warnings, no nothing. There we go guys, I'm going to do a bit of a better video now. Yeah, all the multi-function steering wheel, nice little radio, air conditioning. I don't know what else it's got, pretty basic I think, but a little USB thing there. But it's got loads of history with it, and yeah, nice little car actually. Little cappy end missing out of there, but I suppose they're easy. And this little vent here, that's missing, but these things you find under seats of cars normally, but hopefully it'll be there. So that's what this rear quarters looks like. So we've got to replicate that around this side. Where is that? So I've just given it a right clean off with some brake clean and that. And like I say, it looks really bad, but it's not as bad as it. There's a bit of a dent here, which will come out. As for the rest of it, that's not bad at all, really. I might want to come out there a bit, but I think a lot of this will pull out quite nicely. Then obviously we're going to have to rub that whole quarter down into the door. The door's only lightly grazed. There's no damage to it. It's just the paintwork. This inner arch, again, no damage to that. Just a bit rough on the paintwork. Typical Ford rubbers. These always come off. Focuses, everything. They just stick back on, but yeah, that little screw cap's missing from there as well. Maybe they didn't have them. I don't know, but yeah, it's a nice little car actually. That interior should clean up lovely. No rips, no tears. Everything as it should be. Don't know whether there's any hidden gems anywhere, but we'll have a look. Oh, there she is. We'll walk round. No real scuffs or bangs on the front. Little one there, but that'll come out. Let's pop the bonnet and have a little look under there. Yeah. So we go from here. And there she is, the little 1.25. Very well maintained, this car. Like I say, cam belt, water pump done. I think they've done it early. I don't think they need to be done before 60,000, but it was done regardless. So it's a result for us. Yeah, one thing I did sort of look at is this coming out of this radiator top. And then on some of the engines that I've looked at, there's a pipe that should go from there to that dummy cap there. But then on others there isn't, so you might have to ask Ford whether that's meant to be like that, or whether that is just missing one of them what caps it off. We'll have a little go of it. Try and get it tidied up. Get it from this side. If we try and zoom you in a bit more. Yeah, it just looks horrific, doesn't it? But it's not. It's just, that was a concrete garden post, a bit like what we've got. And they just went up it a little bit, so we'll get it rubbed down and a bit of filler and pulled and see how we go.
Right, back on, well, I say back on, we're starting the Fiesta today. We have a coolant leak. Rubble, do you want to explain what's going on with the coolant leak?
They've put a new thermostat housing on, and instead of using the gasket, that's all you're meant to use, and the gasket what comes with the thermostat itself, there's a load of RTV in there, and I think it's just let by. Either they didn't have another washer, or I don't know. We won't know until we pull this alternator and have a look.
So by what he's explained to me, it's alternator out, and then we can have access behind the alternator. But the reason why we've gone, yeah, we've got a leak, is that it's dripping all down the sump. Behind the sump, I have got bore scope image, like video of all the gunk that's in there. So
this is the gasket what comes with it. That's all you should use. Then the thermostat sits in there and into the block of the engine, but that has its own gasket what's supplied, and all round here when we've put the bore scope on is covered with RTV or whatever, and the Ford workshop manuals, all of them, just don't use anything other than the gasket it comes with. Otherwise you don't know that they've not bought a new one of these or put the old one on and it's deformed, but that gasket's got enough of a ridge on it to seal, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. So personally, I think either that's been lost, and look where it would channel through.
Yeah. Yeah, which would give us our leak. So we're going to start by, I'm going to set the camera up. We're going to start by taking all the alternator off. We've got another stretch belt. So let's get the tools out and let's get cracking. Your mum. Right, so what are you doing, Rubs?
Because we've got to replace the belt anyway, and they are stretch belts. Just cut it off. It's knackered anyway, isn't it? Look.
Yeah, it was all.
So,
I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro.
hold your hand, mate. We've got a knife here.
Oh, got a knife, yeah.
So, don't want to cut through anything else. Snap that up.
And this.
Right. There's one at the bottom here. That's here, under the alternator.
So, yeah, I
Under
can
the
see that. I
plate.
can see that. Reckon I'll get it with that, or do you reckon I need a... Can we take that off?
What?
This.
What?
Help me.
Jesus. Snip.
No, gets a socket. What's that, 15?
Yeah.
My little socket set, Halford supplied.
Towards the engine.
Yeah, no, that's what I was doing. It just wouldn't the ratchet wouldn't release.
You are. You've done.
You want to go? Go on.
Let's make sure it is that one. Oh no, I've got my thumb stuck. You have to turn the fire engine. Are you bothering? See this bolt?
Yeah.
Here to about there was a spline piece that you put your ease on, and then you take this out of this engine mount.
Ah.
And they've snapped it. Because that's not going to get us past this aircon pipe, it says.
Yeah, it
Right,
is.
can we get some grips on this?
That'll go
flange part?
past that. Serious? Yeah.
No. No, it won't. That's where it binds. That's why it comes out, mate. But as it says, you can end up cracking all of the bits. Yeah, that's not where it should be done, is it?
Right, so I don't know whether you heard, Lee, but basically this is an E8 inverted, and basically this undoes from this engine mount, pulls off so you can get it without doing what we've just done.
And the downfall now is that doesn't look like it's leaking from that, does it?
Let's puddle here. Yeah.
There's the next one. Kind of in the middle somewhere.
So I'm saying, is it not easier from underneath?
Yeah, look, everything's got to be done from above. Can I see that one, look? Where
Yeah.
my finger is.
Yeah.
So maybe they use the wibbler. I'd say by the pool of water that's in the back of that and not this side, where's the torch you walk to?
So just here, don't know whether you guys can see it or not, but in there is a massive pool of water.
So if we use your head as a reference on this one, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's bolted to the engine. This one underneath is so hard to get to, and under here we can feel with our hands full of RTV. So basically it's coming out, weeping out of here past the thermostat side. I'm wondering whether they lost the gasket for the thermostat.
So do you reckon if we was to take these two hoses off, or
Yeah.
we'd then be able to get to the bottom?
No, because you can like they have them on when they do them, because it's designed to go through there. Look.
Yeah. So where did you put lip lamp?
I think we're going to need wobbling dobbling on that one, aren't we?
It's just in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Might be worth undoing this one here and just poking it up a little bit so I can get through there.
Yeah, it could do, but like I said, I've watched enough videos, because they act as the stop. And like, if you look at it, it's like he holds it up like that. Look, even if the hose was on, you can still get right the way through.
Oh, I can feel it.
So that's why I think put a wobbly bit on the end of that. But could you, when you took your gloves off, could you feel all that goop?
Yeah.
It's not meant to be there. And now I've seen all that pink to the left of it, I know that's where it's come from, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought you got one. No? No washer is there? Use me brain that time, did you see that?
Have you got one?
Have
You
you
did say those bolts were only 10 Newton meters.
got the ones that you snapped?
Didn't snap it, mate. It just went. I didn't even do half a turn on it. And you can tell by how black it is how rotten it was. Look,
Yeah.
that's what's happened. Look, water's got down here. Fucked it.
More like you got hold of it.
More like you lot. You know. You still haven't learnt his way.
No, I haven't.
Right yet, have you?
No.
No?
It's the most
You
confusing
put your
thing.
pants on for your socks. Do.
Good job we ain't got no under trays.
I don't think that's a new thing either.
No, it doesn't look it, does it? There we go. Friend. So I try and get that screwdriver in there. Sorry I'm not talking. Just trying to concentrate. I can't really do both at the same time. The old div. I can't seem to get this one off, guys. Alright, hopefully that's enough. That is obviously going to piss out everywhere. Need 8. 8, so these are 8 mils. Oh dear. Whew. Come on. love me. Ow. What a pain in the ass. There's one. Come on.
There you go, it's off. That's it. Very good.
Oh, you're joking. How much is in that?
Loads, whole engine worth. Where's that long extension you had?
No, it's still up there.
Come on, John, where is it? Is it here or is it gone?
Oh, it's it.
I've just got to do
That's not coming back. Worth its weight in gold, this.
Glad you noticed.
Where's the other one?
So, got to that one, you got the easy one.
Yeah, looks it.
It's right at the end, isn't it?
I'm fed up with American designs.
Well, that is daft, isn't it? Come on.
Oh, what is that? Guess that torch. Oh, mate, look at that. What is that? It's like a scab.
Yeah, well, that's where it's leaking from.
That's it, put it right in the way. I can't see.
I'm trying to help.
Yeah, looks like it.
I'm going to have to go and check myself. I'm not worried about it. It's going to float out of his own. What? What's that? Burger and onions, baby. You snapped it. I'm sure that was super glued in.
I told you it didn't feel right. The only reason why I said it didn't feel right is because I felt a notch doing it up.
Not just that, like I said, look how rusty it is.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
That's got like concrete cancer in it. Are we taking all these out then, yeah, completely?
If you undo the bottom two first, it'll make your life easier.
Yeah, which I haven't done, have I? You know I haven't, because you've just seen me undo the one, top one, and now you're seeing me do the second top one, and then you turn around and go, if you do the bottom two. Oh, this strut is getting on.
Yeah, well, look, mate, so that's probably what they should have had. And then they've got stops here to stop you going any further. But that's your watermark, look. Right, wouldn't it be easy to try and get your bit on it and then get the sealy and...
No, it's just awkward because... Oh, I don't know why I didn't just do that.
Splash loady muddy water all over us and go, what the fuck have you done? If this is a simple fix and you've waited 5 weeks to do it, I'll kick your head in.
I've waited 5 weeks.
Well, yeah, because you ain't been here. Leave me to do. It's leaking coolant. Well, obviously not a lot, because there's about 8 gallons of it in there. Is that the last one?
Yep.
What, the last bolt?
Yeah.
Is that all 4 out there?
Yeah.
Only 3 there.
It's 4. But... Oh.
Oh, look at that. Okay. Flat as a card.
Right, guys, don't know whether you can see that or not, but that is as flat as anything. And not only that, they've put a load of sticky around this.
That gasket that's meant to seal. So, see where it's pinched?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Reese.
Well,
look, you can see where it's been passing, look.
Yeah, look. Well, look, that's even blocked by his gob. It can't even go down, look. And that's bent. I would say that was our leak, mate. Look at that big bit of glob in there.
Yeah.
There's a camera on.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's picking it up though.
And your camera will get it. Cause that's what's happened.
Can you have a look? Have a look on that. Have a look on that.
And the worrying thing is, if that got sucked into the water journal,
just all. Oh. Let me go underneath. Bloody Nora. Yeah, it's leaking. Right, so I don't know how much of this you can see, but I've managed to put all the hoses back and the right way so we can actually get to them to tighten up. Rubble's just going to get some coolant for us.
Do you want to just show that bit, mate?
Yeah, we'll do that on the phone. We'll do that on the phone. Do it on the phone. Be better, I think.
Mate, when you're really in the sun, that is so far off. Jesus. And it's that big, it's the big part, the first pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, this bit here, look, it's bowed like that. Yeah, come on.
Right, so they're as tight as I'm going to do them. Don't over tighten them. Just got to get the alternator back on and basically just do everything that we've done in reverse. So we're probably time lapse through that. Right, just putting the alternator back on now. Done the power cable first, but ended up putting the alternator on wrong. I had to do the bottom bolt first, not the top ones, because the bottom one sort of located it in, and then I was able to put the top ones back in. But recorded this clip because we thought that was the way you do it. It's only that we stood back and was like, oh, okay, the alternator's actually sat wonky, which would have made the belt sit wonky and potentially fall off. So yeah, it was a bit of a pain on that one. So managed to do it though, and you'll see in the next couple of clips on how the car was running.
Morning guys, I don't know where Cabe was with you last on this video, but we had to change the thermostat housing because it was all warped, leaking water, and somebody had put it on and filled it up with RTV or whatever they put on it. Not ready to use anything, to be honest. Just going to use the gaskets that are supplied, and the thermostat itself has its own gasket. It should have sealed it. This belt is such a pig to get on unless you've got a tool, the belt tool to put it on, because it's an actual stretch belt, and even then it was a real pig to get on. So I had to fashion another tool. See if we got it here. This out of an old piece of metal, and basically I put the belt onto the alternator pulley, and then I put this clip in so it held the alternator belt onto the pulley. And then what you have to do is back these bolts out so the alternator can come back to about there, and then it gives you maybe another 12mm on the belt. Still ain't enough. So 2 pairs of hands is quite needed for this, and then you need to try and keep the belt on the back of the water pump pulley itself while you turn the crank, which is with a, what was it? The crank was an 18mm short socket. And eventually I got it on. And the problem then came that trying to line this up with this hole, the alternator wanted to pull that way a touch. So I had to get one of these punch bars, put it in to the hole there and through there. Then I had to get a 3/8 extension and a, whatever that is, 14mm socket to suddenly make it as long as, almost as long as the engine. And that gave me, once it was in, enough fry to fry that over and get that bolt in into this side. But again, I could have really done with another pair of hands to sort of push it over. But that was all just clear ionised water that I poured in there, about 3 litres. So that is actually mixing nicely now. This car actually went into a local garage with a water pump issue, and then they found out she'd let it run out of coolant for a couple of times, and which then warped the head. So new head gasket, new water pump, new coolant reservoir, new radiator, and then they were still worried that the water jackets in the engine itself were still clogged up with, you know, whatever they put in there, bar seal pellets or some crap. But because apparently that's the second thermostat housing they've had, but that is mixing nicely, and it's only been running for about a minute. Well, no, I've been recording for 4, so about 4 minutes, and that's getting cherrier and cherrier and cherrier, which is nice. If I show you the old housing, and we'll lay it on something flat, like, let's see where we can do this. We'll need 2 pairs of hands for this, but we'll lay it on a saw, which is fairly flat. Can you see that? And there's no bow in that saw at all. And then this side, there's a bit at the top, but it's round this side. So I picked the saw up, it's completely flat, no bow in it at all. You can see it, look. That's how much it had warped. And I suspect that's why they put a load of gob in it. But it was like 25 quid. So if you have any coolant issues with yours, I suggest that you change everything that can be changed. I mean, that's filling up nicely now. What about that one? Yeah, still a bit of air coming out of that. In and out. That one's cold, that one's warm. Watching a guy over in America whose link I'm definitely going to put in this video, because he's just saved me no end of trouble here. And the line, what goes from this fitting here all the way around, it clips on these, and then it meets into this hose where I've blocked it with a pencil for now. It's this little hard plastic line here that clips into the reservoir, and that end joins the thing. And he'd done the same as me, thermostat housing, this, that, everything else, still couldn't find out why it weren't circulating. And that pipe was actually blocked. I couldn't believe it. I don't know blocked with what, but I've made this makeshift pump up, and I'm just going to pump it up now, and then we'll let some air go, and hopefully we'll see some, there we go, see some water flowing out of it. Now you couldn't even blow through this a minute ago, it wouldn't even let you blow through it, so it was totally blocked. And the weird thing was, we got red coolant in here, when I pulled this line off, obviously the pressure from what was left in it, where I've just run it up a little bit, it was green coolant squirting out of that. So I think we're going to have to go back to wherever that line goes. Looks like it feeds into a core there, look. Underneath that green thing, and we're going to have to flush this through, I think. But water was coming out of it into that. There's a temperature sensor housing under this here, so I think it's going to be a case of pull all this off and have a good look. But for now, I'll put your link in the description, mate. The guy over in America, and he'd done very similar stuff trying to chase this coolant leak, and he found a tiny piece of plastic, black plastic, inside the pipe itself. And a couple of people that watched the video in the comments had said that it was a manufacturing part of when they pressure tested the pipes, and it actually broke and gone into the pipe itself. When the head gasket that went on this car, it didn't even have 50,000 miles on it. And they were sort of light town miles. It never got hot enough to really do what they would do in America, where they're doing lots and lots of miles. So there's a fault with these, without a doubt, because all of these seem to have this same cooling issue. And that pipe, I couldn't, like I say, I couldn't even blow through it. And where I've run it through there with some bit of detergent in that bottle there, it started to come through. But obviously I had it in the drain as I was doing it. I couldn't see if anything shot out. I should have really put it in a dish of some kind, but I'm going to give it a proper flush through with the tap now, reconnect everything and get back to you. Cheers.
Right, so here we are just testing that the pipe is working properly and getting warm, which it is. You can see the coolant spraying off to the left hand side of the return. It was good to know that we wasn't the only ones experiencing the block return. We managed to find a video of a guy in America who had a bit of plastic stuck in his pipe, which made us check ours. We're guessing that ours was blocked with rad seal or crystals, because the radiator had a leak before they replaced it, so she just filled it with rad seal. But the pipe's all free flowing now, which is good. So thanks to Sarge's dope. The link to his channel will be in the description, and you know, it's a big thank you to him.
Okay guys, I'm back on the Fiesta. We've done this line, cleaned it out. It is lovely and toasty now. That's circulating through back into the coolant reservoir. These three hoses on the wire piece are now hot. This hose that it connected from into this, where the thermostat, well, not the thermostat valve, the temperature sensor is. Well, this video wouldn't have been done if it wasn't for Sarge's dope, and I'm going to put his little link in the description. It's one of those videos that I just came across after I gave up on everything, and it's just completely cured the car. We've now got lovely red hot air coming out the heater matrix, as we should do. That's all on hot. It wasn't doing that before. Where are we? It's sorry, a bit judgery, but yeah, it's it seems to have fixed our problem. So I don't know what was in this hose, but it took some pressure to blow it through, and now it's lovely and warm. So yeah, I think that is that's been half of our problem, and thanks to Sarge's dope. I'll put his link in the description. So I've gone into the hidden menu on the car, scrolled through so we can get the temperature of the engine. We're now at 85 degrees Celsius. Nice bit of heat coming through. Yeah, I think we finally cured the problem. I don't know what the blockage was, but that little tiny pipe caused all those issues. And I spoke to the garage who'd done the job, and they'd never replaced that line because it didn't look like there was anything wrong with it. It's not until I tried to blow through it and you know, my eyes nearly popped out of their sockets. It took quite a bit of pressure to clear it, so it's very bizarre that obviously just created an airlock where it couldn't breathe back to the header tank, and that was it. But this is now roasty toasty. I've got this panel off here so I can see both the coolant pipes. That one and that one. Just keep my eye on them, but they're lovely and they're both hot. Whereas one, it was just the bottom one that was getting hot. It weren't circulating through the matrix at all. So hopefully we're at the bottom of this job now, because it's been a bit of a pain in the backside to trace it down. But the young girl that had this car before, that was one of her big complaints, that, you know, she was freezing cold and sometimes it would work, and then for the last couple of months she owned it didn't work at all. But the only thing I can think of, it was with enough driving pressure with a water pump, it was just putting enough through to give her a tiny bit. But this is now roasty toasty where I've got it on maximum. So yeah, I'm quite impressed. I'm just going to let this run up to temperature now. I reckon about 90 should do it. But yeah, I think we finally hit it. And once again, thanks to Sarge's dope. He's got a couple of videos on these Mark 7 Fiestas, so it's worth a little look of his channel, because like I said, without that I just wouldn't have found this, and I would never have thought of blowing through that little pipe. It was you know, you concentrate on heater cores, radiators, water pumps, thermostats, temperature sensors, and yeah, even like the little flush that we did, water was coming out of everything. But obviously not that, where it runs at the top of the engine at the highest point. It's there to just circulate and draw any air through back into the heater, into the reservoir. So there we are, we're at 90 degrees now. That's lovely and roasty toasty, that is. So yeah, happy days. Thank you very much again, Sergeant.